It's Power 105. I am excited today. I am very excited today.
Yes.
This is crazy coming out of my mouth, but for the first time ever on my show, the legendary BBD is in the building.
Yes.
Yo,
Yeah.
my whole career,
Finally.
we have never done. What the hell is that about?
Listen, we got a song on our record, Three Stripes, called Finally, man. That's so
Did you make
appropriate
it for
this
me?
moment.
Yes, you made it for me?
Especially.
Come
But
on.
the crazy thing is, a couple of crazy things about it. Number one, I didn't even, I feel like I know you guys, so I didn't even realize until we were just recently on a boat somewhere, and it was Fat Joe's birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And we were like, we've never done this. It's so crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And secondly, so my first concert ever in my life was a New Edition concert.
See?
Really?
That's what I'm talking about.
I went with my girl. I was very choked up and emotional about it. So to have that connection with you and then never have the opportunity to talk to you is kind of
Was
crazy.
it at the Apollo? Was it at the Beacon?
No, it was in Long Island.
Wow.
It was in
really?
Long Island at the Westbury Music
Music
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah,
You
in the
remember
round
this?
joint.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Did you
what-
see me?
Yeah, I
Did
saw
you see
you.
me out there?
I saw you.
Yeah,
You
right
saw
there.
me, remember?
She was the
I
third row.
saw
up
you.
right
No, I was
there.
definitely not in the third row. I was definitely in the 35th row. Something crazy in the back.
Right.
How many times do people tell you that all the time, right? People
All the
always
time,
have like
yeah.
a show.
Man, I met you in 1987, man.
Yeah,
You
I
remember?
saw you in the elevator. You don't
Right.
remember me?
Wow. And so now, with the New Edition movie that just came out, wow, to take a look and to for me to even watch it as a fan, it was like a lot to, it's an amazing story to tell. I can't imagine for you guys to watch that back what that feels like.
Yeah.
Did you watch it
Yeah.
in its
Yes.
entirety? Like
Yes.
when everybody else did, or you saw it before? Probably?
No, it's crazy because we only saw the first night.
First night.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, before it was released.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Worldwide, we only saw the first night.
Yeah.
And I still
So
haven't
we-
seen Night 2.
What?
I have not seen Night 2 at all.
Mike.
Yeah.
I'm serious, Angie.
We've
I
been
have not
ripping and
seen it.
running like for a minute.
But do
I
you
hear
not
about
care
it.
how you're projected out here in the
Of
world?
course, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's our story. It's what's being shown is what we shared with the
Right.
writers and
Right,
the producers,
right.
Okay.
and even the backstories.
And so you saw the script. You know the script.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
cast, we've even shared more backstories
Yeah.
with them, so they could kind of,
Yeah.
get into character.
And we were on set as well. This
Yeah.
is a 35-day process.
Right.
We started filming in
That's actually
sometime
pretty
in May.
fast, no?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
knocked
yeah.
it out real quick. And we saw bits and pieces, but we didn't see everything strung together. And
Right.
man,
Damn, you gotta watch
overwhelming.
this immediately. Like,
Yeah.
take the week, take a couple days off.
What we was thinking, Ange, because we thought we would have been off, but because of the album drop, we got to go back around on this first week
Tour,
push.
yeah.
But we all said when we finally get to go home, we just going to sit in the caves and just go from night 1 to 3.
Yeah.
So we could really just
Absorb
appreciate
it.
Yeah, because we're hearing about it, but
Because there's so many things that we didn't know. And I'm sure just seeing that back and sharing that, you shared like a lot. We see your wedding.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
personal.
Yes, very personal.
I noticed some people shared personal and some people didn't. Like we didn't see Bobby and Whitney's story is nowhere in there. Was that something that you?
I don't think they thought that really should be touched in our story because Bob was adamant when it came time for him to do his story out of respect. We'll let his story and his personal be in his world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was everything in relation to New Edition. How does it affect New Edition for the
Right.
most part? So, I mean, we even have family members that are calling us up like,
Hey,
yo, son, how come
I
I
was
didn't get that
there."
look, man? Come on, what's
Right.
happening? But we made sure that the thread was New Edition. How did it affect New Edition and pertain, in relation to all of our individual
Yeah.
stories?
And even so too, Angie, if you really I saw that. What was that, night 3? Because we saw that at the club.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If you even look at the solo stuff, they breezed through that real fast.
yeah.
Right.
They
Yeah, they
don't
really did.
stay on no one's.
Yeah, Johnny got like 30 seconds of solo career. In the
Oh,
whole
God.
three. All three. He got like 30 seconds.
Yeah, he got a little my off real quick.
Ron,
Right?
Yeah, half a my. He got a
Yeah.
my and a my. He got 2 mics. Then it was on to the next thing. But I get it. It was about the unity. And I honestly never knew. I knew you guys all kind of grew up together, but I didn't really know the story that you came in the group later.
Yeah.
And that, not much later. I mean, you were there at the beginning,
Yeah.
but like.
Story started in 1978. I actually didn't jump in until 1980. After they won got second place in the talent show. But Maurice Starr, of course, we all know, gave him the recording contract, and I came in after the fact when they wanted to make it a 5-man situation, and it was just such a blessing that they were reaching out for my uncle, you know, which is family, and he's looking at me, looking up at him like, come on, you got to put me in one of these groups one of these days, from the Untouchables to the Transitions. And thank God it was New Edition.
Yeah, you got the right one. You
Yeah,
picked the right,
sure.
you got in the right joint right there.
Right.
Because how crazy is it when you think about, like, even that time, how many people are still around,
Right.
and have had the length and the, you know, the span of your career is, that alone is just crazy.
Yeah. 33 plus, man. We done seen so many come and go, and we've been on stage with the greats. I mean, Rick James, you know, Patti LaBelle, the OJs, Earth, Wind and Fire, opening up for all of these individuals, and we've seen so many others come up under us that, boom, fly by night, man. But it's like the halftime show right now. You know, the first 33, the movie comes out like the halftime, and it's just extending our legacy. You know,
we got our first lesson in showmanship, taking heat from sucker MCs every night.
Run DMC,
because Run DMC used to open up for us.
Sure did.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah,
and they
so
was putting
it was
fire.
Run.
Of course.
So imagine that, black leather suits and Adidas's for a good 45 minutes, and those records being as hot as they was in '83. We could never take a night off.
What do you think? Like, what do you know? What do you think looking back now? Because you see all the lessons in your, and at the end of the movie, you talk about, like, it was your conversation, I think, with Ralph.
We mature.
Where you're like, yo, you mature. I wish why did we do all this craziness? We could have, what we could have done. Do you ever think, like, anything you would have changed?
I think, Ange, honestly, and this is, we'll give you something that's there. We never really made New Kids on the Block money. But we feel like we got a generation of Any for Lifers, just like they do. And we've never won the Grammy.
Wow.
You know, there's a lot of things that artists that came here in 2000 that have way more than us. So we always felt like we were overlooked. And we always thought that when it wasn't working, let's split apart. But then when we split apart, we was all missing being together.
Yeah.
So over the course of it, we didn't realize what was going on. Rick said something profound this morning. He said, we didn't realize how it felt, how it looked, and what we went through until we all saw the movie.
Yeah, he saw it back.
Right, that's what you was trying to say earlier.
Right?
Yeah.
And we didn't realize even the impact that we had on the community, or even our, our fans. We never really realized that and looked at it until, I mean, especially when we were watching the last scene where we were performing at the anniversary of BET.
Right.
Yeah.
When, I mean, we watched it, we had a viewing party at a club, and we had it with family and friends, and just to see the reaction of everyone getting up and dancing and feeling happy and singing all the songs.
You got to feel really proud about that.
Yeah,
man, I got a text of an MC that's hardcore to the bone, and I'm not gonna blow him up because that's my friend. But he texted me and said, "Bro, I cried."
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
And I would never tell y'all who it is, but he
Why?
said because
It's
I don't
okay
want
to
no,
cry.
I don't
Yeah,
want
you don't want to. Yeah, because he hardcore to the bone.
He said he said the movie was crazy, bro. There's a lot I would like to ask I didn't know, but when it was going off on the last night, I cried. Congratulations.
And we were on a mad promo tour, in anticipation of the movie, but we're getting calls from people that we did interviews with, like, yo, I got so many more questions for y'all after seeing the joint. And getting these texts and phone calls from cats in the industry like, yo, I'm on my third time watching the joint. I'm like, man, it's only been, I ain't been a week yet. How could you have seen it 3 times, man? But it's just amazing how people are embracing the situation.
My son, who's 13, not as familiar, knows some of your songs, but didn't grow up with you like I did.
Right.
He's playing video games. I'm like, shut your video game off. We're about to watch this New Edition movie. And he's like, all right. Why has he watched it like 3 times?
Wow.
See?
That's crazy.
And so by the second time we watching it, I hear him singing all the songs. I'm like, oh, wow. He knows like all, like it really resonated and really retells your story, which is history, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that. It's funny because, I wrote a memoir, right? And so I always tell people, like, even if you don't publish it or you don't get to put a movie out, to reflect, to take a moment in your life where you look at your accomplishments, you look at your lessons, it sets you up for the next phase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you're going into this new project with a whole different, or every project that you've gone through, with a whole new, like, clarity and understanding and business sense.
And appreciation.
And Rick
all
said
that.
something, too, we could put on this interview. Prior to the movie, we weren't communicating.
What do you mean?
No.
Meaning, like, we toured like every other year or whatever. But we had a we went away for a writer's retreat where we sat, we read all 3 nights and we got in a round table, and because there were a lot of things after us reading
so
the
you were
script
like, hold up,
that we didn't know about each other.
Wow.
So it was a therapy session. It's very therapeutic. And so we had this round table, we put the recorder on, and we just talked, and we just banged heads and kind of went at it from about 11 a.m. to 11 at night.
11 at night.
With Brooke Payne, our godfather as the mediator in all of this. So, and then, and after that, we gave all this information to the production company, to the writers, and we kind of stayed in touch with him individually. But then, like, during that time, most of the time of the production, even before the movie came out, there's very little communication.
Why do you think? Why is that? Just disconnect?
Just disconnect, unresolved situations, some resentments and egos. And it's like we all want the same thing, but everyone has a different idea of how to get to that same place. And then we're dealing with personal relationships as well as the professional. And sometimes that can just be very challenging, as you saw in the movie.
Yeah.
But after seeing the movie, after the movie came out,
you're like, that's why you was tripping.
Right. But we came right back together.
That's amazing.
Again, and we were able to put those differences aside for the greater good. And now we're planning a tour, planning new records, and we're gonna go
as
on
BBD or as New Edition?
As New Edition.
Oh wow.
Yes, absolutely.
Like all 6 of y'all?
All 6 of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And
then we had a funky conversation though.
Yeah, we did. We had to keep it real.
It wasn't sweet.
No. We had to keep.
Wasn't sweet.
No.
I'm gonna let Mike take that one.
Me and Johnny, we have our differences, and when he called, we just said, "Yo, let's just get to it. All right, this is shit. What is it? We take our turns. Let's keep it 100. Let's get rid of all these pink elephants." And him and I talked. Then we got with Bob. We went down. We got with Ralph. And about, what was that, about 8:30 Friday night? Yeah. We was just all on the phone laughing. And then we did it again Saturday.
Yeah.
What is the thing, though? What is the biggest miscommunication? Because
I think what Rick said, we all want the same thing. We were just all trying to figure out, well, my way is the way to go. And then some guys was like, well, if it don't go this way, then I'm not doing it. And it was just all this, that, and the third. Go ahead.
And the depth of our group is almost like a gift and a curse, because boom.
So different.
Yeah, you have New Edition success, but then you got Bobby's success and how he went out and did what he had to do, and Ralph and Johnny and Belle Biv DeVoe. So everybody's perception of how it should be done, is valid because everybody's had that individual success. So when you bring that back to the table in different variations, it becomes a challenge ultimately.
Yeah.
And I want to say this on your show because we ain't say it on other shows, but this is important to me just like you are. When we were shopping this movie 10 years ago, Reggie Hudlin was at BET at the time, and Paramount Vantage bought the life rights to do it in the theater. And Bobby said, no, I'm not doing that shit. No, I want more money. So he held out. So they killed the deal. What was that? Last year, right?
Right.
Last year, Jesse Collins called us again because he facilitated it the first time. He said, I think BET would be interested. And we said, well, look, if we're going to do it because there's so much to cover, we need to do a miniseries because we don't need to condense 33 years in an hour and 20 minutes. And he said, okay, well, let me see if they can commit. So we started figuring out how to stretch the story and make sure everyone gets their shine like you see in the movie. We tell the story, this, that, and the third. But the thing about it, Ange, nobody really believed in this story.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Listen, no one believed.
We sat down with probably about
3 or
10
4
different movie houses at the time.
I'm going to tell you what they believed in. They believed in how can we get dirt from Bobby on Whitney? Or how does Bobby feel about losing Bobby Christina? To them, that's more what they thought the public wants to know, and they probably still want to know. But what they didn't understand is the New Edition story will give you a better insight of Bob before you even want to get to that story. And so if he continues that story now, it's natural growth because he does have a story. But the point I'm making is they went out and raised $10 million plus, okay, because they want to do it right. And as a result, and as a result of that, them as a company is sitting in a different seat. And every executive from what Robbie Reed to Chris Robinson to the wardrobe, everybody's jobs are on fire now.
Yeah.
That's so
Because
dope.
they came together and did a quality production and casted the hell out of it. And it goes to show you that they needed a shot in the arm as a channel. And quiet as kept, Ange, we needed to get back together as a group. So the movie's bigger than what you just saw.
Than just the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bigger because it's bringing everything back together. And hopefully the payoff is what's about to happen.
Right.
Wow.
And I want to share that with you.
That's so. What was the big? It was a money thing. Before
with Bob,
it was a money.
No,
thing.
because Bob was always looking at it like, yo, y'all need me to to complete the shine.
That's always been. That's always been his perspective.
Yeah.
But the deep, we don't curse on this, right? The deep shit
I
about
do.
this. Okay, the deep shit about this one.
Sometimes.
BET was aggressive with bro. He tried it again, and guess what they said?
What?
We'll make this movie without you.
Ooh.
So they moved, and in the 11th hour, Ange, he just said, "Yo, man, I'm jumping in,"
Come on.
and it was just like a blessing.
Right.
Because we didn't want to do anything without everybody. And I'm happy he came to his senses
Right.
because what he brings to the table, just being there, completes the interest for people because they love to see us
it wouldn't
all
have been.
together.
You can't have a New Edition story in the
Right.
lobby. That would have
Exactly.
been
Well,
crazy.
his character would have been there,
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
promoting it and all that.
Yeah.
And we didn't want
his
that.
involvement.
Yeah, we didn't want that.
Yeah.
And we were just so happy he understood the team is bigger than the solo.
I heard too, like after the movie, like this. I wrote it down because I wanted to get it right. 7 New Edition albums, some of the best, the greatest, and 7 New Edition albums in the top 30 on iTunes since
Yeah.
the movie came out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We
That
were
is
sitting at Belle Biv DeVoe, our new album, 3 Stripes, was sitting at number 2. And then you had the greatest hits at number 3. And then you had the number 1s at number 4. And then you had, I want to say, the Heartbreak album at number 7 at one point on the R&B side of things. And that's just a testament of some of the
Come
best
on,
fans on the
man.
planet.
Yeah.
Those NE for Lifers out there.
And the
you
kids
know?
know us too now.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's
My
real.
daughters want to make a video, but I told them to work on their transition.
Are you cool to get in the house? Or your kids like all of a sudden you have a new
Well,
level
yeah.
of like.
There's things I didn't tell them, so they're side-eyed at me like, so you really said a lot of interesting words when you were younger.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so behind. That's not who
Right.
Daddy is.
That
So-
scene with all the girls
But
in
they-
the
but
room.
yeah.
Like, I wasn't even there.
No, but what we did at the viewing party, we made all of the babies and go over in the corner, and we made them face the wall, so they
Right.
haven't seen those scenes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
that would be traumatizing for me to see my parents butt ass in the
Yeah.
all their friends in a room. That would be traumatizing to me. Wow, really special story. So the new album is also in the charts along with all the New Edition albums too.
Yeah.
So it's like the timing of that is all perfect.
Absolutely. Yes, it's number 2 right now, right, Ron?
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
R&B charts, it's somewhere in the top 10.
Congrats,
the
man.
Hot 100.
It's amazing.
Thank you. It feels good, man. Our fans, we have some loyal fans, and we, like I said, after the movie, we're really just realizing that.
It's crazy to know. It's crazy to think that, like you were saying, like it took you. It was hard. It's a hard sell. Like people didn't want it because I remember I was in a room with a bunch of people when we first heard BET's doing a New Edition story, and unanimously in the room we were like, "Oh, that's gonna be crazy." Like we got it out the gate.
Yeah.
It's strange to me that why that would be a hard sell.
Because the rest of us to them wasn't newsworthy. It was Bob. So
Right.
at some point, people looked at it. Bob's association with losing his wife was more what the public wanted to see.
Right.
And that's what's making the movie so good is when you see the movie, it's
It's
bigger
not
than
about
Bob.
that.
Focus
It is
on
big.
that.
You know, it
Yeah.
moves into Rick. It moves
Yeah.
into Ron. You see how
Yeah.
I'm coming through.
Yeah.
You see Ralph, and it's like all of the times people were saying, "Oh shit," that's why it was 19 million viewers.
Right.
Because they was like, "I thought
Who
it
knew
was
it
just
was
Bob."
going off? Who knew people were shooting and fighting and having babies and it was a lot of stuff to learn in there.
Yeah, and they were mad too, and we
Who
was
was
getting
mad?
texts as fans like, "Yo, what's going on Friday night?" Like
Right.
they wanted one more.
Yeah.
One more episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really, really well done. And the casting, like you said, the casting was well done.
Yeah.
Did you guys have part of that? Did you pick like who played you and
Yeah, I mean, they narrowed it down. Robbie
Yeah.
Reed did a great job because they went all over the country.
Uh-huh.
Chicago, Boston, LA, New York, all of that. And they
you
narrowed
had a
it.
you
Yeah.
had a really good one. I mean, they were all good. Elijah's really good.
Thank you so much.
He
man.
really killed that.
He had
really
2
proud of
great
what he
characters.
did. Yeah,
even Ricky's
young,
youngster.
Caleb McLaughlin did.
Yeah. By the way,
well.
all of y'all, because even Yaz, I mean, I like Yaz on Empire, but I never really connected with him the way I connected with him in this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I think for them, for the actors too, it's a special thing. And you know, Brooke is popping now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Brooke, do you feel you were properly portrayed in this New Edition movie? Is there anything that they got wrong?
Yep.
I guess that's it.
Alrighty, good talk. Thanks for coming by.
He chose the actor that played him.
Did you? Oh, by the way, he killed it too.
Yeah.
He was great in this.
Right.
Look at these. They put these things here. So we were going like through your file and stuff and looking at all like the history of like.
Get out of here.
So, so this is American Music
favorite
Awards.
Joints right there, man. Those are the cow
Cowhides.
Who's responsible for these cowhides?
Curtis.
The question.
Curtis Gibson.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
They had the puff pocket on the side.
Curtis
of that
Gibson.
Boy.
Curtis Gibson.
But you got to ask Angie, why did she ask? Was it
it's the cow.
sanction or was
it's
it
the cowhide.
Okay.
strictly based on cowhide. Because if you look through the series of things, so this one is a good one. Well, I like this one, Mike. Mike, why I enjoy this one is the socks.
The socks.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, we had the push down boys.
Is that a slouch sock?
I don't know.
Talk to me, Mike, about what's happening here.
Well, it's a short with a turtleneck. It's a few seasons going on. Right? I don't know.
It's 1990, man. What you gonna do?
I'm sorry,
Ricky. Your footwear.
Hey,
you have to buy 2 pairs of sneakers to have this type of footwear.
I still have those.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Where are they?
They're in my closet.
They're not in your closet.
They're in my
These exact sneakers.
Those exact sneakers.
Why are they in your closet?
Because those is classics. Come on
the
now.
bottoms are yellow by
now.
now.
Come on. They are.
What year was this? There's no way you have those.
I could sell those.
Are you a pack rat? You must be.
Yes.
Totally. So like your old costume, your old stuff.
I have a few of them, yes. They're going in the museum. We're going to have a museum soon. So
you are?
Absolutely.
When does that happen?
Hey, soon. Soon. Yeah.
Right.
So this was in the movie when you did this photo shoot.
Boy,
so I'm watching with my kid and he was like, "Is that true? Did they all not smile?" I was like, "Let's Google it." So we start Googling it in the movie.
Right.
And there you are.
Ralph and Mike with the smiles. The rest of y'all,
tight face. And now the whole world knows why. Right. Anyway, you have many, many looks. This was a good one.
That was actually the first time we got together after the solo albums, which we didn't. We did the MTV show.
This was like the first reunion?
Yeah.
That was a crazy joke. Yo,
what
the
is
crazy.
That, like mirrored?
Yeah.
This is mirrors?
Yeah, that's another
basically.
What is that?
Yo, and that goes to the history of New Edition too, because boom, the first time they had to air it, right? And then MTV did the re-air and they pulled our part out of the joint for some reason.
What are you talking about?
Like when we performed with those outfits on the MTV show, award show,
right?
When they re-air it, that performance, they pulled it out of it.
Why?
Ask me why. I don't know.
We don't know.
We were
you never got an
answer?
answer?
At the time.
We were live, and we went into a hotel to appreciate it, but we was not there.
Why do you keep getting jerked? Why does this keep happening?
We was like, no one did Bob Humper do something crazy?
No, we didn't. We did the individual performances, and then we.
Maybe it was the Maybe the jackets were giving a glare.
They said it was too bright.
Maybe the jackets and the lighting was giving a glare.
The derbies weren't happening. Not the derbies.
One of the things too that stuck out in the movie was that $500 signing fee.
And he said, and Betamax was actually trending that night.
Right. Was it?
Yeah.
That's correct.
And a Betamax. Yeah.
And you really signed that?
Signed that $500 in the Betamax. But hold on, it was the Betamax with the cord, though, the remote connected to that boy. It wasn't just
digital remote.
Yeah. So you really did get the Betamax?
Oh, yeah.
Did. Yeah.
That's hysterical.
I bet you still don't have that one.
Nah, I don't have that one. Nah.
So I know you got a little bit more right over the years. And they really do, in the story, like they really show Mike, you especially, in your business savvy and how early you were taking it serious.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you think, even after all these years, you haven't made the New Kids on the Block money?
Well, because where they would their merchandise.
Yeah.
See, at one point merged, and they really killed the game like the Jacksons. So they would not only have the concert money, they would have the baby dolls and the all that shit. They had everything.
Why couldn't you have that? I feel like I had a New Edition lunchbox.
But we never had it the way
and it was a different audience.
It was a different audience.
You got to look at the buying, you know, our buying public was, okay, we come in, you know, it might be a little bit more of a struggle. I'm going to buy one T-shirt. At the New Kids on the Block joint, because I went to a couple shows myself, they had like 2 hats on, all the buttons. They put on 3 and 4 T-shirts, you know, so they spending a whole lot more money at their joints.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you look at the box office, you know, it's a different situation. Okay, you Madison Square Garden, and let's say it's 17,000 people sold New Kids on the Block. It's 17,000 people sold New Edition, but their ticket might have been $120. Our ticket might have been $65.
Good point.
And then you got to divvy it up.
Exactly.
Between, I mean, they had to divvy it up too, but
the
merchandising and the ticket prices.
It's been tough. We had our good times when it was good, and we had a tour. And Ricky calls it the tour from hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Home Again tour.
What Home Again was bad?
Yeah, that was.
We could do a movie just on that tour alone.
What year was that?
That was
96, 97.
Why was it so bad?
Well, I mean, usually what we do when we're preparing to go on the road is, you know, we have rehearsals. You know, we'll have choreography rehearsal, vocal rehearsal, just music rehearsal, and then we'll do a production rehearsal. We'll videotape it. We'll go in the arena and we'll watch it. And
thing.
you know, we do it on this Home Again tour. We never even ran the whole show from top to bottom until the first night of the tour in Boston. So we never knew what it was going to look like. Yeah. Bobby showed up to maybe 1 rehearsal. And it was just, and it was like every night, whatever could possibly go wrong went wrong. Whether it was us going on stage late or somebody not showing up. We had 6 tour buses. We lived better on the road than we did when we got home. Right. We made no money. We spent it all on the road. Dang. It was horrible. Horrible.
And when we came home, we made a little less than a penny.
Exactly. It was worse than the candy.
And we damn near, what are we at that age, bro? 96? We in our 20s.
We in our 20s, yeah.
We knew better. We was mad than a Mickey,
right.
bro.
Yeah.
Because we really thought we was picking up a check. Yeah. Right. Like, yo, here's your money.
Right.
Wow. I noticed too in the movie they portrayed like your parents got mad at Brooke. Yeah. But you guys never did. Or at least in the movie they don't show it as you were mad.
Not at that, because Brooke always did right by us. He looked out for us. I mean, we were all entering the business together. We all knew just as much as the next man. Right. So it wasn't like he did us wrong. He was in the same position that we were in.
He was done wrong too.
Yeah.
And the toast and the wedding, he was like, I still ain't got 2 checks from y'all all these years.
Right.
So it's real. Like, the movie's real. Throughout the movie, my kid kept asking me, did that really happen? Did that really happen? I'm like, I'm assuming it really happened if it's in the movie, but it's really it's all real, right?
Yeah, it's fully official. Again, Abdul sat down with us collectively, sat down with us individually. He made sure he went to all the key people that had anything to do with our success, from Maurice Starr and Gerald Busby, and just anybody that had any tenure with New Edition, to be able to tell them their side of the story as well. So it just didn't come from our perspective. Right. So very organic and real, authentic.
Why do you think there's no groups anymore?
One, probably because they don't want to split up the money like that. And then record labels are looking at it like, okay, I can fly one person around or 5 or 6 people around.
Yeah. But it really starts in these buildings too. And you don't, you know what I'm saying? You come here to do your personality, to do your job. But at the end of the day, if you really look at the playlist, they're not even catering to groups. I mean, the majority of the playlist is rap solo.
So how many groups are out there, though?
They don't. What I'm saying is there's no influence.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? See, the movie now has influenced little girls, little boys. There's groups being formulated right now.
Yeah.
And when we were young,
you looking for them, aren't you?
Right, exactly. Right.
When we were young, our parents were listening to the Temptations, Blue Magic, Four Tops, all that. So we had a bigger influence.
People want to be Drake. They want to be Jay. They're living in the era of wanting to be the MC.
Yeah.
Now, after Thursday, we might have opened up some light. And
either
hope.
that or you scared the hell out of everybody. Now they never going to do it. They're for sure going to go
That's
solo.
That's what we got to go through.
That's the flip side.
Then we got to deal with all of that. Because we were actually, I was just talking to the Locks the other day. because they're like one of the few hip hop groups that have like managed to never break up or never have public. It's only like a handful of them. They all break up or have something and then come back or whatever. But like stay together, still like each other. It's a rare, because you're all different personalities growing up. It's like a rare thing.
It's tough. Fortunately, we were able to catch that space every now and then in our careers, and enough space to be able to feel like, man, I miss my dudes. It's time for me to come back around. So.
Yeah. And what makes me feel good is, Ange, when Crush Crew dropped, they wouldn't make that movie without us. They made up a scene in that movie just to have us in the movie. And that at the time was powerful for hip hop.
Yeah.
And for us to go from Crush Crew to our own story, we can actually say we made a conscious contribution to one of the most lucrative genres of music that ever came. We was there.
Talk that talk, Mike.
It's real though.
It is real.
And I say it all the time. When Run was that Houdini, when Doug and Slick, when who else we leaving out?
Cool J.
Cool J. When they all wanted to tour, them buildings, the Madison Squares, the Forums, the Philadelphia Spectrum, they would not give them insurance because they thought they was going to tear the building up. They all had to come with us. So if you came to a New Edition concert, you sat through Run, you sat through Doug, you sat through Houdini, you sat through 4 opening acts, and around 9:30 you got entertained by some 14-year-olds.
Wow.
They
Did you
rode
even
with
realize
us.
that was the case at that time? Or no?
Not really. We kind of had to hear the backstory after the fact.
Yeah.
But that was the music that we listened to off stage. So we sitting on the,
you were hyped
we
that
sitting
they're
on
there.
the side of the stage like, yo, son, that's
I'm
Houdini
forgetting the
up
Boss
there.
MDs. I'm forgetting the Boss
Fat
MDs.
Boys.
Right, that's the Fat Boys up there. Exactly. That's Salt and Pepper up there. That's LL Cool J up there. And we had a love and appreciation for it just as much as everybody else. We were the biggest hip hop fans at that time.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why when we had the opportunity to splinter off from New Edition, it was like, yo, this is our moment to be able to infuse this hip hop into what we're doing as Bell Biv DeVoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's why when you watch the movie, I know you was like, oh, there go my joint. We was a stickler on saying, do not just play our music. Play the music.
I love that you did that.
Ron was on that a lot.
The era. I said, yo, you got to make sure, like Mike said, in the 10+ million that they put on the table, like whatever the licensing portion of that was as far as music is concerned,
set the
not
tone
just
of
our
the
stuff.
era.
Yeah, we got to have all this other stuff
I totally
in there.
noticed
I love
that.
the fact that they did that.
I was just talking about that the other day. Like that was a point of that. I just from a production side that I was like, that's dope that they did that. It was like Like I heard a Busta song, and then it takes takes you right to that point in time. You're like, oh, this is what they were going through at that time. You remember where you were. It was important. I actually really noticed that. That was a dope.
And they all called. They were so happy.
Yeah.
Because then they get a little publishing too.
Yeah.
Because that movie gonna live.
They was with their families. They was like, yo, tell Ron good looking.
I was popping. They know I was popping in that moment. It's important, man, to salute that type of stuff. That's so dope. All right, so what moving forward? We got a new album.
Yes.
On the charts. Let's not forget that we have new music also on the charts as opposed to the classics. So what happens now? Are you gonna tour? Are you gonna what do you do with this?
Of course. I mean, the album's called 3 Stripes. It's our first joint in this social media era.
That's crazy.
Right? So it's like we don't even know what to do. How do we promote it? We supposed to post it or what's going on? How y'all do this now? But we feel proud about this. This is really our best album since Poison. I mean, song for song, it could definitely stand up and even better than the Poison album. I'm saying it myself. Besides Poison, it's a monster. Nothing will ever compare to that. But we feel proud about it. We're going on tour in May with SWV, Guy, and Vogue. It's going to be a great tour. Then after that, we'll throw up the New Edition tour. But yeah, man.
New Edition after that?
Yeah, New Edition will be after that. But
that's a good tour, though.
Yeah, we got Dougie Fresh on this album. We got SWV. We got a joint with Boys to Men. Right. Producing, we got KG from Naughty by Nature. Of course, Eric Sermon. We got Battle Cat. We got G1. Yeah. Man, it's
Rico.
And Rico, that's right, my man Rico.
Yep, young writer named Cyrus the Shields. That pen probably 4 or 5 joints on there.
Right.
Incredible.
Little Ronnie.
Little Ronnie's on there.
A joint called Incredible. Word.
It's funny that you say, when you have a record like Poison, a lot of people always, it's like when you have a monster like that, it's gonna be with you forever.
Yeah.
Like there's no new music that will make that song ever go away. Like you could put out however many. There's just certain records that are that big.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea in the moment or when you made it that song was gonna be that?
I felt honestly like it was a monster record, but I didn't think that it was gonna be the monster that it actually is. I'm talking.
You could go to any club now and they still do it.
Right.
And it rocks every time.
Right. I felt like for our generation.
How old is that song? What year was
26
that?
years.
26
that song
years
is 26 years
1990.
old. Oh my gosh, your publishing on that check has to be insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I thought you was gonna say?
No, go ahead.
After seeing the movie, with us being the background, the steppers of the group when the guys are singing most of the time, and just some of the things we had to deal with being in the background and those personalities, I think God knew in order for us three to survive, a poison life jacket was necessary.
Mm.
Yeah,
we know y'all been going through it. Hold that. Hold that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes,
exactly.
And that's the only way I
You
could
think it
think
was a
of that
gift?
record.
He's saying thank you, boy.
Thank you.
Because you wrote this whole thing out.
I mean,
you were
that
soldiers.
joint-
you saw the movie,
Right.
right?
That joint made it
Ain't
to
been
the White
easy.
House. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow.
Yeah. The press.
Were the
and
other
the
guys that are
floaters
not
and
in
the
the
po-
three, were they tight a little bit?
With Poison?
Yeah.
Well, Ralph wanted it, right?
He wanted
He
in.
wanted it.
I
Exactly.
bet.
Rizzo
the first
wanted
time I
it.
heard it, I was at Ralph's house in the car, and right after, Hiram and Mike, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I think he probably even gave me a tape of it or something like that. So I'm like, yo, Riz, check this out. And he's, yo, I want in. Yo, this is my part right here.
You're like, fall back.
Like, nah, man.
You
this
was
is
foul
BBD
for that. Though. You was
right
foul
here.
for that.
He heard it though.
No doubt.
He heard
Yeah,
it.
he did.
heard it.
Yeah, he
was
felt it
like,
in his
that
soul,
shit is
too.
Crazy.
Bobby had to feel some type of way too, because he had big records, but nobody had Poison. Poison was just a monster.
Yeah.
Only thing he said is I'm getting in the video. So he actually caught our third video on the first album. He was like, yo, I can't take it no more. I'm coming to the video.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I did wonder in the movie when I saw, who was it? Was it Jim that said you guys should be?
Jimmy,
it was
Jim,
Jimmy,
and Terry
right?
Lewis,
It was
yeah.
Jimmy and Terry.
Mhm.
What made them think that?
I
What
don't know,
made them put
well,
the three of you together?
Well, what happened was at the end of the Heartbreak tour,
uh-huh.
it was established that Ralph was going to do a solo record and Johnny was as well. They were already in that
So
process.
that was like the talk.
even before, and
yeah.
we were having a conversation about, well, what are you guys going to do? And we said, we don't know. We'll probably produce or just write or do something more behind the scenes. And he just like casually suggested, well, why don't you guys just become a group? Because that's what was left on the table. And the conversation went just like it did in
And
the
were
movie.
people sleeping on you?
Yeah,
Like when you first brought it up, like we gonna be a group. They were like,
yeah.
Oh man, some of the
We
things
didn't
we
even
heard.
have names. After first you had, it was Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Like
Yeah.
people knew that from Cool It Now,
Yeah.
right? But then when it was time to do the solo projects, it was, yo, Ralph's putting out a joint, Johnny's putting out a joint. What's the rest of them gonna do?
Right.
Like now we don't have
Yeah.
no names
so
all of a sudden.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were the underdogs, and we loved that underdog mentality because we didn't have any pressure. It was
No
like,
pressure
okay, we
at
can
all.
throw whatever at the wall, and hopefully it's gonna stick ultimately. But there's no pressure on us, and it allowed us to just walk into a monster.
Yeah. But I would imagine when you bring that into the label, that they might not get it right
No,
away.
the label didn't even want us to go in the direction that we did. It was crazy. Even when we brought Poison to the table, before Poison, it was Lil Silas, rest in peace. He, was like, yo, I need y'all to go in with Timmy Gatlin and Alton Wokey Stewart. Timmy was from Guy and everything. So
they were trying to
initially we
smooth you
did,
out?
exactly.
Yeah,
we did
yeah.
Smile Again. We did I Do Need You.
Ooh, I
we did
love
this song
Smile
called,
Again.
we did this song called Weak in the Knees, which, come on, that don't even fit on the
It was
Poison album.
weak.
And one other joint, right? And they're like, yo, we love it. This is the direction. And we felt like, okay, Smile Again and I Do Need You,
Smile Again
hot,
is my show.
right,
Glad you didn't
hot.
lose that.
But
That was
now
my
we
joint.
got to go in another direction,
Yeah.
man. We up in the clubs dancing, and we got our little winter coats
And how
on
old were you
out
at
in
the
Cali.
time? You probably in the
This
street.
we like,
19.
we like,
19.
19, 20.
you
Yeah.
get 40 chicks in the house at any given time.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We getting in clubs when we're not supposed to.
Of course.
But it's fully official. We had to snatch the reins up and go in a direction that felt comfortable to us, and it worked out at the end of the day.
And it still rings off.
Yeah.
We finally got it
we
right.
finally got
know?
to you, babe. It took
Yeah.
a minute.
I'm
It
so
took
happy,
33
man.
years.
Well, it won't be another 33 years. I will keep in touch with you, and we will make sure I keep in touch with what's going on with you guys.
Yes.
What about like other artists, groups? You doing that?
We just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Because
just hit.
you know what it is that for us, if we drift off and go there again at this critical time, we would have missed the whole point.
Yeah.
So even myself, as much as I want to reach back and help, there's only so many hours a day you can cater to being in this business with the
Right.
fellas. And then we married, we got kids. Those
Yeah.
other hours got to go to the kids.
Yeah.
So I don't want to prove nothing else, because what I need to get right now, the only one that can help me get that done is me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather go handle what I got to handle and
Right.
get what we got to go.
No doubt.
And then after that, when we say, okay, let's go home for a year, then
Right.
I'll reach back and figure out if it's something inviting and exciting. Hell yeah, I want to go.
No
But
doubt.
right now, Ange,
I get
only
it.
one that could cross that line, because I don't want the headache of another parent.
Right.
I don't want some little kid bugging out. Like, it's too
Right.
critical.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
sometimes
almost,
not enough hours
I'm
in a day.
almost 50, and I'm still trying to get it.
How many years you been married?
10. And
So-
we've been together for 17.
And you?
10. Going
Wow.
on 11. March 10th.
Are you married?
Yeah, going on 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same woman from the movie.
Yep.
She stuck through with you
She stuck
Yeah.
with
through
me.
your craziness.
That's
Mhm.
right.
What was going on with you, man?
Hey, man, life. You know, I mean, it's like it's a reaction to how I chose to deal
The
with
deal, right?
everything that was going on.
Because I feel like it was later for you to develop.
yeah,
like
that's
a
what I'm saying.
drug
It was
habit.
later.
Like,
It was way later. It was like really like right after the Home Again tour. So, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I don't like to make excuses for it, because
Yeah.
even after that, I used when times were good, you
Right.
know, and when times are bad,
well,
and
that's
everything
that's
else
what people do,
in between, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, she stuck with me. She was definitely the strength in my life.
And
when
she
I
wasn't
had no-
having it.
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
Not at all. She's a good woman. I got a good one. Thank you, God, for that.
You all
Yes.
did good.
Shouts to Amers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, all of
She
y'all
held
married
slick
10
down.
plus. That's like
Yeah.
Mine's gave
That's
me
the-
3 beautiful girls.
Yeah.
you beat the odds crazy just in
Right?
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why we ain't got
that
time.
was God again. Like, let me.
Yeah.
Y'all had to deal with this all out. Let me give you these.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me give you
Peace.
this.
Yeah.
Let me give you this
some
piece.
stability.
Yeah.
And tell God to keep going, because we gotta go get this.
Yes, yeah,
We gotta
yeah.
go
More
get it,
requests.
Ed.
You got a
Yeah.
couple more
You gotta go
requests
get
left
it.
in.
We
Well,
will-
okay, so I know you. Last thing, I know you're not gonna do any artists or stuff like that. But what do you say if somebody is putting a group together and inspired that? Like what advice do you give to people coming? out?
I would tell them this: the most important part you get out of the movie is the stuff you didn't know, and that's the paperwork. You always start off with $1. As you enter the business, you decrease your dollar as much as you give away. So if there's something you don't know, try to find the best attorney to give you the best advice. And don't sign until you totally understand what it is. And always ask, how do I get out?
Yeah.
Right. And
That's
I
an
would
excellent question.
Right. I would share that just from my own experiences, that being in a group, you're not gonna always get your way.
Mm.
It's hard, very hard, difficult for 4 or 5 or 6 people to agree on everything all the time. But if you have that, well, if it doesn't go my way, I'm not in, that my way or the highway attitude, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to separate what's business and what's personal.
Right.
The two don't go together.
You know, I bet you the reason
Yeah.
why the three of you have been able to like have a marriage last so long is because you were groomed your whole life to be able to compromise and
Right.
deal with somebody else and not, you know what I mean, and realize that it's like a partnership.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Us
You,
3.
you got to be team players, and you got to be willing to put that work in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, before the light was shined in 1983 for us with Candy Girl coming out and the world was able to see us, it was 1978. It was 2, 3, 4 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week rehearsal, making sure that we were sharpening our talents and our gifts and our skills so that when the opportunity presented itself, boom, you know what I'm saying? These guys are prepared. So put in that work. You know, and it's not going to be an overnight situation. Be willing to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it may be, and stay consistent, stay faithful, you know, stay dedicated, especially if it's something that you believe in your heart, and ultimately you'll prevail.
And Angie, the thing about it, I would want them to get out of it if we was talking to them is, everybody might not get theirs in the beginning. Right. We ain't get our flowers until the 33rd year.
Right.
You feel like your flowers now?
That's what Ron
Yeah, we smelling them. I'm like, yes.
I mean, you just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, finally.
Right.
Congratulations, by the way.
And that's the good.
That's forever. That's forever.
You got cats that get it, whether it's the New Kids on the Block or whoever that may be.
You're a little salty, right?
No.
Salty New Kids on the Block.
We just like referring to them. We refer to them. Because Johnny knows we like them.
Yeah, they hometown boys, and we love from them to Aerosmith to whoever it may be, up in the beam. We love giving them shouts. But people bust through with 10 million, records sold, and they get it all at once, but it just feels good to have that consistency over time, man, and still be here 33 years later.
And on the charts with the roses.
Yes, exactly.
And we're going to put it there because this is Angie's show. They said from the Chamber of Commerce that was the most fans they had out on the block out of ceremony era.
Man.
Wow.
So it went from Monday in the rain with the biggest crowd to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with the biggest viewership.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
congratulations.
So hang in there.
All of it is deserved,
yes,
by the way.
Hang in there.
Thank you for all the music and my first concert.
Right. And finally, first interview.
2 to 6, you can hear Ricky Bell, myself, and Ron. Angie has opened up the gates.
Thank you. Amazing.